During notes, remember we are working on being respectful, solving problems, and making good decisions. So I need 2 volunteers to be my scouts. Okay, she raised her hand up first. And then I need someone up here. You are being very nice and respectful. Okay, so my 2 scouts. Don't worry, we still have time. We still have time for scouts. Okay, so I need you guys to be looking for people that are doing those 3 things, okay? Or one of those 3 things. Okay, so in the box where it says percent formula, we are going to write the formula. So looking at our pictorial chart over there, if I have my 2 fractions, what goes above? Yes. Is, and what does the is represent? Part. Awesome. Okay, can someone tell me what goes underneath? Yes, sir.
Of, and then it represents the...
Of, and that represents the whole. Okay, and then what goes on the top of the other ratio? Yes, honey.
The percent.
The percent. Over how much? How much is a percent out of? 100. Nice. Okay, so write that in your box where it says percent formula. Now, when we are doing real-world problems, we're going to label the pieces of the problem so that it can help us to solve. Okay, so when I'm labeling up here, I would like you also to be labeling the word problems. So, I know that you might not be able to see the words way in the back from up here, but they are right on your sheet. So if you look at your sheet, we are going to read all together the first problem. Okay, so here we go. The supermarket has 50 aisles. 35 aisles are empty. What percentage of the aisles are empty? Nice. Okay, so first, did it tell us the percent in this problem?
No.
No, because it says right here, what percent? We do not know that, so that's our X. Okay, so we do have 2 numbers. So in the first sentence it says the supermarket has 50 aisles. Do you think that is the part or the whole? Yes.
I think it's the part.
It's the part. So if the supermarket has 50 aisles, that's part of the aisles or all of the aisles?
It's all of the aisles.
What do you
it's all of the aisles because it's all that's in the store.
It's all that's in the store. Okay, how many agree that it's all whole? Okay, so we all agree that 50 aisles is the whole. Okay? It says 35 of them are empty, so what's that representing? The part. Okay, so on your story problem, on your paper, label that on your story problem because you're going to have practice to do this evening and you're going to want to use your notes to help you with that. So label the parts in the story problem so that will help you when you do problems that are similar, okay?
Okay.
Yes, Hank?
On the paper it says 35 of the aisles.
Yeah, I probably just took a word out. That's okay. Oh, because you were going off based off of this? Yeah. For the word problems, you have to look at the context. You have to like make sense of what the sentence is saying. Okay?
The of only works on those small ones.
The ones that we did yesterday. Yeah. So that was a good question. For the is and the of, those work for those short problems that you did yesterday. Today, we're going to have to use the context clues of the story problem to figure out what's the total and what's the part. So the is over the of is not going to be as helpful today. The is and of is what was helpful for those short little ones that you did yesterday. Okay? That was a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so we're going to set this up. So we have our 2 proportions. What are we putting at the top for the part?
35.
And what about the bottom for the whole?
50.
And we don't know our percent over 100. Okay, so what's it called when we solve? Cross multiply. Nice. multiplied. Nice. Can anyone tell me what I'm multiplying together to write my equation? Yes, honey, in the back. X times 50 equals what? 35 times 100. So that butterfly is telling you what to multiply together. So these two together and these two together. So that's why I circle it like that, just to give a visual. Yes, sir?
Does it matter like if it was like 100 times 35 equals X times 50?
No, it's okay to have this over here and this over here if you wrote it the other way. Okay, so we have 50x. Can someone tell me what 35 times 100 is? Yes, you were.
Yeah, 3,500.
Okay, and how do we get x by itself? What do we have to do? Divide, because opposite of multiplication is division. So if we divide by 50, what are we getting for x? Yes. 70. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you also calculated 70.
I got X equals 70.
Did anyone get a different number? We are okay with 70? Okay, awesome. Now, this is the important piece that I need to stress today. We always need to go back and look at the question to make sure we've answered it, because sometimes we've only answered parts of the question. So the question said, what percentage of the aisles are empty? Does it make sense to say 70% of the aisles are empty?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we did answer the question. So we write 70 and we're going to label like Mrs. Stewart said and put the percent sign. So on your notes, did you set up the formula, write the work, and label? Did you do that on your notes so that way you can refer to it tonight? Because I want you to be successful in your practice.
We have practice today?
Yes. Okay, so out of this problem, does anyone have a question? Yes.
So on props, these like do you have to write a sentence?
Miss Stewart, do you want them to write a sentence, or is it okay if they just label?
Labeling is okay, but it should feel almost like a sentence, right? Just like a little, because you said the aisles. What was it again? Empty aisles?
70% of empty aisles.
Yeah, so that's what I want you to do. 70% of empty aisles.
Okay.
So you don't have to have a capital or a period, but you need to have that whole label. Okay? That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so I'm going to be looking for team points for number 2. The problem right below it, actually. Do you see where it says, now you try? You need to do it as a heads together with your group. I'm going to be calling numbered spoons. Let's check real quick, though. Wait, time out. Let's do something real quick. We didn't do our check to make sure we know our numbers. So I know we have some absent people today. So in your number groups, reaffirm who's a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Do that real quick.
I'll just be the kind of I'm 7. I'm 7 so I can never get told. I'm not being told.
Hey, all my ones, raise your hand. I want to see all the ones at all the tables. I need to see all the ones. Lutz, who's your 1? Okay, who's your 1? Hey, who's your 2? Raise your hand if you're a 2. Okay, 3s.
I got you.
Awesome. 4s.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, listen to instructions. You're going to do work with your table groups. I'm going to be watching to see if you are being respectful, solving problems, and making good decisions. If you are, I will be awarding team points. And then I'm going to be calling from the numbered spoons for people to share out to fill in the chart so we can compare.
Okay.
Okay? Ready and go!
Over 100?
Do you have a bathroom pass?
No, because I came into this class late.
Okay, so you'll need to ask Miss Stewart about that, okay, honey? Yeah, go ahead and finish that first.
She's money. I can't see.
Make sure you're working with each other. Are you stuck? Yes. No, you got, yeah, that's correct. Heart and whole. So go ahead and fill that in. That's good. Yeah.
Is 9 going to be the of?
Well,
Out of?
so remember for this we're not using the words of and is. We're going to read it. 9 out of 12. What do you think is the total? 9 out of 12. Yeah, so switch those. There you go. Good question, honey. The of and the is are for like problems like this.
Oh, okay.
That's what the of and the is work for. Are you guys good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put it back. Got it.
Are you done, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you done?
I'm working on it.
Okay, we're going to be calling number spoons. Remember, we want team points. Who are you going to call?
Well, we're already done.
I like your thing. I can see why. That's my favorite.
Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I saw all the groups working with each other, so I'm going to award all of the groups 10 points. Well done.
10 buckaroo.
Nice. Okay, so let's fill in our chart. We're seeing about what percent of employees. So remember, we're going to work on being respectful, so that means we need to be listening to each other, okay? Here we go. So how about Art Institute of Seattle, number 2. Did you know the percent? No. Okay. It says right here, what percent? So we did not know that. Okay, how about Central, number 3. Did you know the part? What was the part? 9 out of what? 12, yeah. Right up here, it tells you the part out of the whole. So it's telling you the ratio, part to whole, right there in the sentence. So we have part to whole. Well done. Okay. How about Pierce, number 2? Can you help me with my proportions here? What number is going on top in our formula?
9, I mean.
Okay, awesome. And then what's going on the bottom? And what goes on the top for the second fractions? X over. Well done. Hey, in class, what are we doing with this? Multiply. Nice.
Butterfly doors.
It is. Okay, Lutz, number 1. Can you help me write my equation for what I'm multiplying? Who's my number 1 for Lutz?
My bad.
Okay, so tell me what I'm multiplying.
You're multiplying 9 times 100.
9 times 100.
12 times x.
12 times x. Okay, class, what's 9 times 100?
900.
Close. And how do you get x by itself? Nice.
I told you on
Okay, someone brave soul want to tell me what they got? Yes. 75. Can I see a thumbs up if that is correct?
75%.
You got 75? Okay. What did I forget? Oh, we have to label. 75% of what? Did we answer the question? Yes.
5%. No, we have the solution.
Of employees are temporary. 75% of employees are temporary. And yes, we answered the question. Okay, that's going to be important for our next one, because our next one we're going to have to double check just to make sure. Okay, so we're going to do a sort of different percent problem. Does anyone have questions on these two that are up here?
Oh, God.
Okay, so go ahead, turn your page.
Oh, I forgot that we had over what?
I can do that.
Who thunk it?
Okay, I'm going to give these three groups team points because they paid attention to the zero noise signal. So I'm going to give you 5, Central, and Bates. Nice, you guys. Okay, we are going to read the problem out loud together. Here we go. Your friend makes 60 cookies. 20% of them are chocolate chip. The rest is peanut butter. How many chocolate chip and peanut butter does your friend make? I do appreciate the enthusiasm. Okay, so let's discuss. Can someone raise their hand and tell me, do we know the percent? Yes, sir. What's the percent? 20%. Okay, now the only other number we know is about our friend who makes 60 cookies. So let's think of the context clues there. Your friend made 60 cookies. Does that mean part cookies or total cookies? Yes.
Total cookies.
Total cookies. So that's our whole. So what do we have missing? What are we solving for? Yes.
We're missing the part.
We're missing the part. Nice. Okay, would someone like to help me set up my fractions? Yes, in the back. What's going to go on top? X over 60. 20 over 100. Nice. So we're setting it up. Remember, it goes part over whole equals percent over 100, right? Now, are you writing this on your notes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you label that the 60 cookies was the whole, so you have that to refer to?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so what are we going to do? Cross multiply. Nice. Okay, who would like to tell me my equation? Yes, honey.
You gotta do x times 100.
X times 100
And then
equals
260 times 20.
20 times 6. Awesome. What is 20 times 60? Yes, Christian.
100.
What did you say? 1,200?
Yeah.
And how do we get x by its little lonesome?
You divide by
You divide, yes.
Divide.
What do we get for our answer? 12.
Wait,
Okay.
writing really fast.
I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead and copy it.
What?
Okay, let's check our question here. It says, how many chocolate chip and peanut butter did your friend make? And we have 12. Does that really answer our question? No. Okay, so, time out. Listen to me. Okay, folks up here. So we need to figure out the chocolate chip and the peanut butter. But we have one of those answers. Without shouting out, I want raising hand. Do you think the 12 represents the chocolate chip or the peanut butter? And what in the story problem tells you that? Why do you think that? Who has an idea? Okay, let's give some other people some chances. Do you see? Okay, yes, go ahead, honey.
The 12 is like for the peanut butter. Yeah. Wait, no, chocolate chip.
It's chocolate chip, and why is it chocolate chip? What in our story problem lets us know it's the chocolate chip?
Because it says that 20% of them are chocolate.
Oh, this part right here, I'm going to highlight it. 20% of them are chocolate chip. Did we use that 20% in our solving?
Yeah.
Yes, so the 12 represents what?
The peanut butter.
The what?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip, yeah. So we have 12 chocolate chip. Oops, I spelled that wrong. No, I did. I spelled it right. Never mind. It looks funny. Okay, so raising hand, what are we going to do to solve for the peanut butter? What could we do to solve for peanut butter? Yes, sir.
Well, should I divide or add something?
We could do another operation. What do you think we could do?
So you just take away 12 from 60.
Oh, take away 12 from 60? Is 60 our total cookies?
Yeah.
So the rest would be peanut butter? Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to put a little bit more work here. So we're going to have 60 minus 12. Make sure you write that on your notes because we had to do a little bit more work. So write 60 minus 12. Yes?
48.
48. So we have 48 peanut butter. So you do have to show a little bit more work. So maybe you write that this is part 1 and this is part 2. Just so you have that for your notes so you know why you had the 2 answers. So what we're trying to stress is even though we solved the problem, it was good that we went back and looked at the question because we didn't solve the whole problem. We needed to solve for both the peanut butter and the chocolate chip. So whenever you're in a math class and you have a story problem, just take a few seconds, reread the question, make sure your answer matches the question. Because sometimes you have to do one more step to get the other part. Okay? Does anyone have questions on this problem, like where we got a number from or why we did something? Okay, because we're going to work on some team points again. You're going to do the problem right below it and with your teams. Okay, go ahead. Heads together. Teams, work on the next problem. Lower it a little bit. Lower it a little bit.
Marvel fans, and the rest are DC fans. How many of our students were Marvel fans or DFC?
57%.
Oh, you got it already?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you answer the whole problem?
Wait, when you have like 85.5 students, did you round it up to 90?
We're not going to do that. Okay. And this isn't like this. That's not the whole answer, right? You weren't doing it with us.
Hey, honey, we're running out of time. Work with your group. You might get called upon.
You got it.
Okay? Do you want certain team points for your team? Gotta work together. Did you guys get it done? Did you double check your answer? Did you reread the question?
Yeah.
Okay, because I only see one answer, and I don't know if there's just one answer.
So then I don't think that's correct.
Well, I think it's correct.
Okay, reread your question. Look at it one more time. For one of them?
I'm doing 12.5. That's what I got in the calculator. Doesn't it have to be No, yeah, but
Try re-multiply that, honey. This is 150 right here. So go 150 times 57. I think
That's 70.
you switched it real quick. That's what happened. So work together. You guys are doing a great job working together.
Thank you.
Make sure to compare your answers with your teammates. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Be quiet.
Wait.
Okay, all of you working very well again, so you got another 10 points. Well done. I'm so impressed. You guys are being great teammates. Okay, so I'm going to call on people to share out. Here we go. Let's do Eastern number 2. Okay, was there a percent in this one?
Yes.
What's the percent? 57. Okay, how about Pierce, number 4? Who's number 4 for Pierce? Okay, so I see that there's 150 students. Did you put that as the part or the total? So it says of her students, there's 150 students. That's the whole, okay. Make sure you're labeling that in your story problem. So what are we solving for, class?
What part?
The part. Okay, so how about Bates, number 3? Can you help me set up my proportion? Okay, what goes on top? X over what? 150 equals 57 over 100. If you don't have that on your paper, please write that on your paper. Make sure you're labeling your story problem. And then we're going to do what, class? Cross multiply. Okay, how about you, Dub? Number 1. Who's number 1?
Answer 400.
No, is it you? Okay, just tell me what you multiplied. No, just tell me what you multiplied together. What were the 2 numbers you multiplied together?
150.
150 times what?
57.
Nice.
7.
And what else did you multiply together? What's the other side?
100. No, really?
Times what? Awesome. That's all I needed. That was beautiful. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what they got for the multiplication? Yes, honey. For 150 times 57?
That would be.
Okay, guys, let's be respectful. I need to be able to hear. Was it 550? Like that?
No, 8,000.
Oh, 8,550, like that? Okay, thumbs up, 8,550. Okay, good. And then if we divide by 100, yes, go ahead.
Well, so the 100 and 100 cancel, so it's just X. And then 8,550 take away 100 is 8,450. No,
Oh, divide it.
I got it.
So divide.
Oh.
So if we move the decimal 2 places over, we're going to get 85.5. There you go. Okay, so we need to check. It says, let's see what the question says. How many are Marvel and DC fans? Does that answer the question? No. Okay, so we're going to be doing this by raising our hand again. Can someone tell me if this 85.5 is Marvel or DC and why? Yes, Christian.
The 85.5% is Marvel fans.
Why is it Marvel fans? What tells you in the story problem that it's Marvel?
The story problem says that last year, 57% of the students were Marvel fans.
57% were Marvel. Nice.
They were DC fans.
So
then,
go ahead.
Next year, the likings for Marvel and DC fans could have gone up.
I could have. That's true.
Or I'm pretty sure.
So we know that this is Marvel. So we know this is 85.5 Marvel. Can someone raise their hand and tell me how we solve for DC? Yes, honey. So we subtract from 150 85.5 because remember she has 150 students total. So if we subtract 85.5, what did we get?
I got 64.5.
64.5 DC. Awesome. So I know it's a little weird that we had the 0.5. Maybe one of the students liked both Marvel and DC, so it was a split vote. Okay, so this is why I want you to reread the question when you're doing your practice, just to make sure, because some of them might have two answers versus one answer. So when you do the practice tonight, reread the question and make sure you label. So let's talk about our scouts. Who is one of my scouts? Okay, go ahead. Share. Who?
Devin?
Devin, raise your hand, Devin. Okay. What was he doing?
He was being so respectful, answering questions, and being polite to people when they were sharing.
He was being respectful with participation and with helping with others. Nice. Awesome. Devin, you are Eastern. You guys get 10 points. Okay, and then who is my other scout? Okay, go ahead.
I saw Natalie. She was being respectful and paying attention.
Natalie, raise your hand. Okay. And she was being respectful by what?
She was paying attention to the whole time.
She was paying attention the whole time. Awesome. So Bates, good job, Bates. Well done. Way to represent.